Hello, everyone. This is my response to the work that we had to do for the stereotype list activity. Some of the trends that I saw within the different lists were that how the straight list for heterosexual people, a lot of the listed items were very basic stereotypes that I would consider align with the American dream. So, family values and missionaries, the Christian religion, being married and having children, very normal descriptions that you would say align with the American dream. And other stuff I saw were how a lot of different of the lists had specific celebrities and derogatory insults. So people would visualize the identity with a celebrity. So, like Ellen being a lesbian, RuPaul as gay, Caitlyn Jenner as transgender. It's like when people think of these identities, it's like the first person that they think of. And the usage of derogatory language and insults that I don't feel comfortable saying, but those are the main trends that I saw within. And also the social construct that has to do with age between the different lists. So, such as people going, as in, if you're gay or bi or anything other than straight, it is a phase. But also, if you are straight, that's like the expectation. This is what that you should be practicing. This is who you should be. And those are like the trends that I saw within. And the connection to other identities, I saw the straight lists and the lesbian lists having connections to athletics and Greek life. So straight people, golf players, frat boys, football, and lesbians having that connection to being softball players. I know that was a really big thing in my undergrad institution, that a lot of people identified and or perceived softball players as being lesbian. There was also a lot of the lax boys being perceived as homosexual. So I think it's interesting how athletes in Greek life have those connections. Um, I also saw that within the LGBT, all those lists all connect with the college age demographic due to them being classified as it's just a phase or you're confused. I know when a lot of people, there's been a lot of debate, and I've seen this on social media, it's just Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, of many people saying that, like, if you identify as bisexual, it just means you're confused. It means you can't pick either or. So I think it was really interesting to see that pop up. And also the idea of the masculine identity and the feminine identity, man or woman, those are being utilized as insults when referring to the identity of lesbians as dyke or butch, masculine, or gay, catty, fairy. I think it's interesting that we describe masculinity equals men and femininity equals women, but then people use them as insults, vice versa, when describing LGBTQ, if that makes any sense. Um, I think these are on there because I think it's just part of some weird social construct. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I think one person says something and then it becomes more. We see things on TV. I know a lot of people have trouble, and I see this a lot in, like, my grandparents, as I mentioned in response, with Caitlyn Jenner, Jenner transitioning to Caitlyn Jenner, and a lot of people even describing that as a career move, something that makes no sense if you look into the history of Caitlyn Jenner when they were Bruce, and it just doesn't, people can't make any sense of it, and I think that is all very interesting. Some reactions that I had were, I found it kind of embarrassing that there were so many negative terms for LGBTQ and ally and straight. Like, there's just so, like, there can never just be one. Like, there's just so many negative connotations towards any and all identities that ever exist. And I think you'd wonder, like, one, why is there more than one? Two, why do we have so much time to come up with all of these negative descriptions of these identities? Way more negative ones than there are positive descriptions. Also, I found it really difficult to describe the ally identities. I don't think I've ever thought of that. I don't think I've ever spent, like, it was really easy to think of, okay, straight identities, LGBTQ, but I've never just sat there and thought of ally, like how to describe. I found that one to be the hardest one, and I think it's interesting that I can like think more about that. Like I never like would assume, and some of them I don't necessarily disagree with. Um, the one that like I agreed with thinking that when people were describing ally was the one like has that one gay friend. It's kind of like I like to connect that with I've heard this before when a white person says, well, I have a black neighbor and that means they're not racist. I mean, I've heard that said before, but I've never thought of that on the LGBTQI spectrum of things. And that is my response to this. Thank you for listening.